downright fierce, downright fierce, downright fierce, downright fierce, downright fierce, downright fierce. Downright fierce, 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 downright fierce.
It's a downright fierce gaming podcast. Playing mad games and talking mad trash. Subtitle pending, dropping facts about consoles, news, and industry stats. Every week, Josh and the crew go hard with the gaming passion. It's true. It's downright fierce and the place to be with a custom theme by Lars MC. It's downright fierce, get your game on. 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 It's downright fierce, get your game on. 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 Fierce in this room, it's the bomb. 20 questions, you can't go wrong. Yeah, the console, Chris implores, but now I can't get the Genesis off the floor. Streaming every Sunday on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, so hit the switch. Got Scribe looking up those unknown facts. Helpful as heck, thanks a lot for that. Lost the bet, I need a pie. Pepperoni, it tastes so fly and it feels so good to play these games. Game Gear links and GBA, Turbo Graphics, Neo Geo, retro consoles, look so neato. Got 10 power strips for the Sega CD. To play Sewer Shark in the dark, that's me. It's downright fierce, get your game on. 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 It's downright fierce, get your game on. 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 It's downright fierce, get your game on. 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 It's downright fierce, get your game on. 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 I play Smash Bros on my PS4, my Xbox 2. I play it more on my NES and Master System. Love Mario so much I almost kissed him. Town and city, Brandon said, but it's okay. What he meant instead is in this world, all is possible, like Super Smash Bros. Platform optional, Echo Fighters, here we go. A lot to address on the awesome show. Simon Belmont, the Splatoon crew, Sonic, Yoshi, and Pikachu. Friendship games and stories too. It's a magical world, come join the dudes. Passionate guys with a love for games. Got downright fierce going hard today. It's downright fierce, get your game on. Downright fierce, get your game on.
Downright fierce.
Hello, and welcome to episode 97 of Downright Fierce Gaming, the Kyle Fucked Me podcast. My name is Josh Asensio. With me is nobody, because Kyle fucked me. Okay. So, I'm pretty pissed off right now. It's a terrible way to start the episode. Only 3 episodes left, but I need to get something off my chest. We're on episode 97 of this podcast. And in the past, this is going to sound really shitty. But you know what? In the past, I referred to everything as we. We here at Downright Fierce Gaming, we want to bring you all these things. We are doing this. You know what? It's me. It's just me. We have amazing co-hosts on here, creating unforgettable moments and adding personality to this podcast. But when it comes to really making it, it's just me. Just me put up those acoustic tiles because I wanted it to sound good. Just me organized the entire thing, produced every single episode, make sure all the tech works, make sure we have all the lights and all the wires and stuff. And it's because of that. That's really why the podcast is ending. I don't have the energy anymore. I don't. And I just needed to share that. Because we're towards the end. Like I said, I got senioritis. I love you guys all. I trust that, I can express myself to the listeners, to the viewers who have come to know me over 97 episodes. It really upsets me. We have one big show of the year. One really, really big show. And that's the post-E3 episode. I should have said one really big episode. The post-E3 episode is the big... I have 21 pages of news. 21 pages. And it's a lot of abbreviations. Like, I cut it down pretty small. Just highlighted notes and stuff. And who's here? It's just me. It's okay. I just needed to get that out there. Brandon Akers, that doesn't apply to you. I hope you came in at the right time for that. Brandon couldn't make it, but he told me much, much earlier. Much, much earlier. Brandon Akers, that is not about you. It's not about you. I promise. I love Brandon. Brandon's fucking awesome. I needed to get that. I needed to get that out there. And you know what? If this podcast has been anything, it's been honest. I love doing this. I love doing this podcast, but it is exhausting at times. And when we get to these moments, who wrote 21 pages? Just me. I wrote 21 pages worth of information to share with you guys. And that's how it's always been. And that's fine. Up to a certain point. Again, Brandon, not about you. I love you, Brandon. Also, I think Andres Felipe, my cousin, just found out that that the podcast is ending after 100 episodes. And he's still at work. Yeah. Brandon's still at work. Okay. Guys, it is E3 week. Let us get into the longest Fierce news ever. I clicked that too early. I clicked that way damn too early. 97 episodes. Couldn't figure out the timing. Not yet. All right. So before we get to all the E3 conference news, let's get into some other stuff that happened, some other leaks, some other things. THQ Nordic has announced that a Destroy All Humans remake for PS4 and Xbox One will be released. No word on when it's coming out, but it is an exact remake of the original. I'm hoping what they do is I'm gonna blast through a lot of these news things. I'd love to talk about this for a while, but like I said, 21 pages. I would love for them to do, even if it's an exact remake, I'd love for them to give it and we've seen some gameplay. It's not going to be like Resident Evil 2 remake, but I'd love for them to give it that kind of twist, to at least add something to the gameplay that makes it modernized, because I played that game recently and it's fun. It's still fun and it's quirky and stuff, but that only really brings you so far. It'd be nice for them to kind of tweak the gameplay, tweak just the game in general, to give it a modern feel like they did with Resident Evil 2 remake. Again, I'm not expecting the full treatment, but you know, that would be nice. That'd be nice if they did that. All right, so moving on, Blizzard has reportedly canceled an unannounced StarCraft first-person shooter and will shift focus to the also unannounced Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. So this is weird. First of all, StarCraft FPS, that sounds awesome. Would have definitely liked to see that. When I saw that, the first thing I thought, I don't know if many people remember this game, Red Alert Renegade. Phenomenal game. Played it recently, holds up. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let me bring that back. I used the wrong adjective. It is a terrible game. It is like a 6. It is like a 5. It's not a good game. But in my world, it's really fun. In my mind, when I'm playing the game, I have a lot of fun, and I still enjoy playing it to this day. Imagine Red Alert, but as a first-person shooter. So what happens is you have 2 bases, like you do in Red Alert, and you play as one of the soldiers, and it could be any one of the regular-ass soldiers, and you start at your base, and then you move your way towards the other base, and you try to kill guys on the way there. It's fun. That's really cool, and the first thing I thought of when I see StarCraft first-person shooters, like, oh my god, if they could modernize Red Alert Renegade. I mean, they're probably not going to, because that would require a lot. But god damn, that would be cool. But I mean, I am down for Diablo 4. Overwatch 2, I don't really understand why they would need to make an Overwatch 2. Nobody's really had any problems with Overwatch. Everyone's got like Game of the Year. It's a great game. Why do you need a second one? You just release new maps and new characters. Why would you mess with a good thing? And it just came out. Like 2 years ago or something? That's insane. Yeah. And Mark says, Blizzard canceling StarCraft projects? No, that never happens. Yeah, apparently it happened. Okay, again, we gotta move fast. Bungie announced a bunch of Destiny news. So Destiny 2 is likely going to be the last Destiny game ever, called it, as they say it will be the platform for all future expansions. First of all, the second... I mean, not the second. I mean, Destiny 2 was supposed to save the series. And you know what? In my opinion, the story campaign was fantastic. But they've been giving it away with everything. They've been giving it away with Stadia. They give it away with PlayStation. They're giving away Xbox Game Pass. They are trying to give this game to just anybody who will take this game. I was calling it with that. I'm like, there's no way this game is dying. This game's dead. There will never be another Destiny. So... that's kind of right and that's kind of wrong. Doesn't sound like there's going to be a Destiny 3 anytime soon. But they say it's going to be a platform for all future expansions. So basically, anytime there's any story DLC or any characters, they're going to pay for the servers with microtransactions, which is fine. You know, because ultimately, if you get the game for free, it's basically free to play. In fact, there will be a base game called Destiny 2 New Light that will be free to play, where you start on the Cosmodrome from Destiny 1 and have access to the majority of the base content from the game. So it's turning into free to play. Destiny 2 is free to play. So the way that you pay for free to play is with microtransactions. That's the only place that gamers are completely fine with microtransactions. Not pay to win, but microtransactions. Rock on. Bring on the microtransactions. This sounds like it will finally give everybody what they want. You know, it'll give the Destiny players the Destiny game that, you know, more and more Destiny content, and it'll give the rest of us, you know, no need to ever talk about Destiny again, because who cares about Destiny? So they're also going to be launching actually they already launched cross save. Destiny 2 is moving to from the Blizzard launcher to Steam. That's good thinking. You can buy every piece of content together for $40, and going forward, all content will be delivered a la carte. That's a great strategy. That's what they should have done from the beginning. Craig says, yeah, I don't get that Overwatch 2, very silly. Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. He says, I think if Overwatch could go anyway, probably could do really well as VR. Okay. Okay, that'd be hard to pull off. And it definitely wouldn't be for a sequel. But that's something I would love to see. Because they already have competitive shooters in... well, I'm using that term very loosely. they have, or very incorrectly, that's not a word. They have shooters, capable shooters in VR. But movement doesn't really usually feel good with that. But if you put the Overwatch format to that, make it a hero shooter, I think you're onto something there. Mark says, Destiny 2 was a fine game. It was DOA because they restricted communications within the game itself in an attempt to create an inclusive, troll-free experience. That's a good point. Because I'm not downloading another app to form groups for a game. Seriously. I mean, how did they not learn from the first one? Because, okay. They needed, you know what? Nope. We got 21 pages of news. We just got to keep moving too. That's a good point, Mark. Brandon says that's a lot of motion sickness for the VR. You get your VR sea legs. You got to play a lot of VR to get the jitters out. Okay, we got to move on. The obvious Darksiders leak that we reported on last week proved to be true. THQ Nordic announced Darksiders Genesis, which will be released later this year for PS4, Xbox One, Switch. Hell yeah. PC and Stadia. Genesis is a top-down action RPG like Diablo. You play as the new horseman of the apocalypse, Strife, and it looks really cool. I like that they're doing this with the Darksiders series. They're kind of they're putting their own unique little spin on each game. The first one was very Zelda-like. The second one's probably more Zelda-like than the first one. And then 3 was kind of more like Dark Souls-y, and then you got 4 here, and it's going to be like Diablo. Next they're going to have 5, which is like a dating sim. That'd be cool. We got a bunch of information about Pokemon Sword. I can't believe I forgot my water. Can't believe I forgot. If only I could summon a water to appear before me in like approximately 30 to 45 seconds or a minute. So we got a bunch of information about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Most importantly, the release date, which is November 15th. No more random encounters. That's my favorite thing about this new game. No more random encounters. What I thought they were going to do, and what most people thought was going to be the Pokemon Let's Go formula, where it's, you can see the Pokemon in the field and then you go up to them and, you can select which one you want to attack. There's way too many to do that. It makes sense. I didn't really think that part through. Like, there's way too many in this game to be doing that. What they're doing instead is a similar thing to where instead of a random encounter, like you're walking through the grass and then all of a sudden something hits you, it's a little exclamation point. And then you go to the exclamation point if you choose, and then you get a random encounter that way, which is awesome because the cave sequences in all those games are awful because you're constantly, being attacked by Zubats, and that's terrible. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other really specific and like legendary stuff. I know Pokemon kind of well. I played like the games and stuff, but then they're talking about like, oh, these are the legendaries, and then there's the Daikon thing where they get really big. It's Pokemon. I want to play it. Just shut up and give me Pokemon. That would be nice. Here's something that I did not expect. Halo Infinite will be coming to Xbox One, as well as Project Scarlet. Wow. I mean, good on them. I kind of thought that Halo Infinite was going to be... because even during E3, which we'll get to that, but, they compared Halo Infinite to the first Halo, which is like, that's the reason why you got an Xbox. That is the definitive, thing. That was the must-buy game for that launch because it showed off, like, what the console can do, the power of the console, the power of the Xbox. And I kind of figured that they were going to do that with Halo Infinite. So, I don't know if they're like adjusting sliders or something, or maybe one will have ray tracing, the other one doesn't. I don't know, but that's really interesting that it's coming at Xbox One. Because you gotta expect it's gotta have ray tracing. I know I harp on ray tracing all the time, but of all games, a launch game on a for a console that is like make or break for Microsoft, you gotta put the ray tracing on there. I don't know how well that works with first-person shooters, but we'll see. All right, moving on. Oh, this is just interesting. A former senior environment artist at Radical Entertainment shared screenshots recently of a canceled Spider-Man 4 game that ended up being another game, and that game was Prototype 2. Yeah. Prototype 2 was originally going to be Spider-Man 4, and then they're like, oh, well, you know, something happened. I don't know what happened. That'd be a good story, though. Somebody should do a podcast on the story, on the development, and how they went to that decision. Somebody should make that podcast. I'm going to make that podcast. That's actually a plan that I have. It's going to happen. Okay, so next really, really big thing. We got a bunch of Google Stadia information this week. No release date yet, but there's a Founders Edition that will be available in November 2019. So the Founders Edition it costs $129.99. It includes limited edition Night Blue controller, Chromecast Ultra, 3-month Stadia Pro subscription, and 1 3-month Buddy Pass to give Stadia Pro to a friend. Stadia Pro will cost $9.99 a month and gives you 4K 60 frames per second HDR access to swapped out free games, kind of like a smaller version of Game Pass. Like they'll have maybe like 20 games or something. I think they only have one confirmed right now. Believe it or not, Destiny 2. And then they'll probably have like 5 or 10 or something like that, and they'll just keep swapping them out. Exclusive discounts on games to purchase and everything that comes with Stadia Base Edition. So Base Edition for Google Stadia costs nothing. It doesn't cost anything. Now, I got really confused when I first heard this news. I thought the entire service cost $10, and then like you pay $10 to use the service, and then that $10 gets you games, and then I was really confused. But it turns out that the way it works is Base Edition is the same thing as Stadia Pro, except like either version you have to buy games, except for Stadia Pro, which it gives you a couple free games. But the Base Edition, water. Thank you. Best wife ever. The Base Edition it maxes out at 1080p and 60 frames per second, which is fine. Most people don't even have 4K. The fact that it still does 60 frames per second is still pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. And the internet speeds required for 4K, it's a much higher. So, I mean, 1080p is absolutely fine. So the fact that you just have to buy games for this, and it doesn't cost you anything to use, that's like the second best outcome I could have predicted for this. I thought it was going to be subscription based, kind of like Game Pass, where you pay X amount a month and then you get to just play the entire library. This is fine too, and they can totally compete. I mean, even during E3, a lot of the game announcements, they were saying coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. They made sure to include that Stadia in there. So this could be, this could be a good thing. And then Mark says, I'm stoked that my phone can play it at launch. I mean, it's pretty exciting for the game industry. I mean, it's the funny thing is, when I heard about the $10 a month, at just $10 a month, if I'm not getting a large library of games, it wasn't worth it to me, because I have a gaming PC. I could do 1080p 60 frames. I have no problem with that. The only thing I would want is to play games on the go, which I'm not going to pay $10 to play games on the go. I'm just not going to do that. But with this, the fact that it doesn't cost anything, I could just buy the game through Stadia and then still play it at home with my super fast connection. It's not that fast, but like a wired connection will be much faster than Wi-Fi. So that's great. Now, just assuming that the latency is good, then, then we'll see. So the current launch, actually, you know what? This list is so long. Fuck it. The current launch games are Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I spelled Assassin's Creedy Odyssey, Baldur's Gate 3, Borderlands 3, Darksiders Genesis, Destiny 2, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Farming Simulator 19, Final Fantasy 15, Football Manager Get Packed, Grid, Guilt, Just Dance, Metro Exodus, Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K, Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid, Rage 2, Samurai Showdown, The Elder Scrolls Online, Thumper, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Tom Clancy's Division 2, Trials Rising, The Crew 2, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. So, when I saw this list, I'm like, that's a lot of Ubisoft games. That's like a whole bunch of Ubisoft games. And then I made a prediction. And I messaged our group. And I posted that picture on the Facebook page if you want to check it out. But it says, quote, "Oh shit. I just pieced something together. There's a lot of Ubisoft games on that list. Ubisoft is about to announce a subscription service. I'll bet you can access that service through Stadia." We'll get to that later. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Those of you who watched the E3 conference know why I'm so smug. The rest of you probably figured it out because it's not that, it's not that complicated. I was right. That was weird. Okay, so Microsoft announced that backward compatibility has ended for the Xbox One. They are now focusing on next-gen Xbox, which plans to support all 4 generations of games. That's pretty awesome. And then finally, we got a release date for Code Vein, which is September 27th and is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That is the anime meets Dark Souls kind of game. Looks really, really cool. I watched some of the gameplay recently, and I mean, it looks fun. Like, it doesn't look like it's going to be amazing and mind-blowing. I think it'll probably be a good 7 or maybe an 8. Probably like a 7.5. Okay, time for E3 talk. E3, last E3 covered by Down on Fierce Gaming. Oh, this is the last one, you guys. So let's start with Microsoft. They officially revealed Project Scarlet without really saying anything about it at all, which really pisses me off. I was so convinced. I was so convinced, you guys. I'm like, Scarlet is gonna be a family. I still think Scarlet's gonna be a family of consoles. But I was so convinced, I'm like, this is the E3, that they're just going to share everything. They're going to talk about how they're bringing Project xCloud to Switch, and they're going to do all that stuff. And all he said is that the AMD processor will be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X, and that it's coming out holiday 2020. So at first, like I said, super disappointed, and I didn't understand why. And then I started thinking. I started concentrating. I'm like, why? Why wouldn't they? Because now, if it's coming out holiday 2020, then next E3, they have half a year to release. Which, I mean, they don't need E3, but it helps for, hype. And it helps to have a year's worth of hype before, we get to it. I thought at least we get a name, a little bit, know how many teraflops it has, which I still don't know what that is. So the more I thought about it, I realized Microsoft wants to have the most powerful console on the market. And PlayStation hasn't really given us that much information about the PS5. In fact, for the information that PlayStation gave, Microsoft only gave that much information about the next Xbox. They talk about loading times, they talk about the processor, and I think they mentioned that it has the AMD Navi graphics card or whatever, basically the same kind of thing that PlayStation has. So what I'm thinking is that they're waiting to see what PlayStation does, and they have a whole year to do that. They don't, like I said, they don't need E3, but if they come out and they say, oh, it's got 32 gigs of RAM, DDR6 or whatever, and then all of a sudden PlayStation's like, hey, DDR7 just came out. I don't know if it did or not. DDR7 just came out. We got like 64 gigs of DDR7. That's impossible. They're not going to have that. I mean, that's insane. That's madness. That's madness. That's not going to happen. But you get what I'm saying. If a situation like that, all of a sudden, Microsoft they're fighting right now, man. They want to be the industry leader. Last generation it was 360. This generation is PS4. They want to be on top next generation, and they got to play their cards a little closer to the chest. So I think that's why we really haven't heard that much this conference about that, is because either they don't want to be the first one to announce it, or they just kind of want to see how the industry goes. Brandon says Josh is on a streak. Yeah. Okay. We also got to see a really interesting cinematic for Cyberpunk 2077. So first, every article that's been coming out of E3 has been talking about, oh, this new game revealed and it looks beautiful. And they're talking about cinematic trailers. I can't tell you how many times I was watching E3 these different press conferences. And I'm like, you're not showing anything. Like, there's nothing you can even get from a cinematic non-in-game engine trailer. There's nothing you can gather from that. Absolutely nothing. You can't even gather story. Does anybody remember, what was it? Which Halo was it? It was Halo 4. I had a stroke there for a second. 4. Where Master Chief was like roaming the desert and he had like a cloth, like a cloak on him for some reason in full armor. He's like, oh, keep the sand out of my visor. Like, what the fuck, dude? That scene was never in the game. Like, cinematic trailers don't mean shit. The only thing you could possibly get from them is tone. Remember that one Evil Within 2 trailer that was like 2 years ago? That was a badass trailer. It looked really cool. But all we got from that is tone. And we got that it's all mindfucky and stuff. That's not representative of anything in the game. Look at Death Stranding. Look at all those weird ass movies that they put out. Sure, it's fun to watch them, but don't judge a game by its cover. Trailer. Cinematic. Don't do it. So, that being said, and Craig's, he's touching on that one. That being said, it was a very cool cinematic. It was really awesome. I had a lot of fun watching it. And at first, I didn't care. I'm just watching, I'm like, okay, this is whatever. And then, bam, Keanu Reeves. This is Keanu Reeves' year. I don't know why. He's just so cool. But yeah, he's like, we're going to burn down the city. And he's just so cool. Keanu Reeves is going to be in the game. That's another thing I guess you could do with a cinematic trailer. Keanu Reeves. Craig says, the internet is all over Keanu Reeves' balls today, and we don't even know anything about the game. I mean, we know that Keanu Reeves is in it. And Rachel says, who wouldn't be all over his balls? Craig says, case in point. Apparently he's a very lonely guy. That's what he says. I just want to hug him after that. But yeah, okay, so after saying all that about a cinematic, I guess there are rare instances where you can tell something about a game, and that is when they introduce a new character. That is Keanu Reeves. I mean, again, that doesn't mean anything for the actual game. It's just cool that Keanu Reeves is going to be in it. I thought we got a release date, didn't we? Why didn't I write that down? We did. I didn't write it down. Oh, crap. I want to say it is February 2020? July 2020? Somebody look that up for me, and I forgot what the release date was. Hold on. I got this. I'm just going to Google it. I'm going to Google Cyberpunk 2077. And is available for 4/16/2020. April 16th, 2020. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's when it's coming out. We got a release date. That's great. Microsoft announced a new acquisition. They bought Double Fine Studios, which totally fits. It absolutely fits. They showed a new trailer for Psychonauts 2. Looks pretty cool. Still no release date, except for that it will be coming out in 2019. Which, I mean, now that Microsoft bought them, I believe that it will be coming out in 2019. Phil Spencer talked about like how he wants to have games coming out like every 3 months, basically for Xbox. I believe that they're going to be sticking pretty hard with those release windows at least. Moving on, starting October, this is pretty cool. Microsoft is bringing xCloud to Xbox One. The new platform feature will allow you to use your console as a server and play your games, quote, wherever you go, kind of like Stadia. Except your console is now, the thing that you'd be connecting to instead of a Google computer. It's also kind of like the PS4 and Vita, only it sounds like they're going to allow you to play on laptops or cell phones and stuff. And I don't know, I think that's really cool. As long as your Xbox One is like hardwired in and not just over Wi-Fi, and you have a good connection, I mean, that's pretty freaking awesome. There are a lot of applications of that, and I like the sound of that. I could actually see myself getting an Xbox One SAT edition, the all digital one, assuming it's a decent price drop. We got a release date for Gears 5, September 10th. Another one of those, like, they just showed a weird cinematic. It didn't show anything about the game. But they did say that there will be a new Horde mode that will be shown at Gamescom in August. And there's also a Terminator Dark Fate crossover character pack. Apparently there's something with Terminator. I didn't really understand what they were getting at with that, but Terminator's involved somehow. Okay. They also showed off a new Elite controller called Series 2. It looks really sick, actually. I didn't really see what the first Elite controller looked like. I'm assuming that it's just like the Xbox One controller, right? I don't know. But it has 40 hours, up to 40 hours of gameplay on a single charge, and lots of really interesting ways of customizing it. So they have like little like tools where you can change the resistance on like the triggers and stuff. You can have it to where, like, I guess if you're playing like a driving game and you don't want to just like that, you can add a little bit more resistance. They have this thing where you can make it like kind of click like you're shooting a gun. That's cool. Looks expensive as fuck. Oh god, it looks so expensive. I'm gonna say like straight up $100 easily. That's even like being generous. I would not be surprised if they say it's a $150 controller, but because I mean, here's the thing: they didn't say the price. It's gonna be $150. It's gotta be. They didn't even say the price. $150 controller, guarantee it. Guarantee it. Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming spring 2020, and it's free to play. I don't know anything about that game. Tales of Arise is coming to PC and Xbox in 2020. I actually played Tales of Vesperia recently. Didn't really like it. I wanted to. I've been like on an RPG kick recently. I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that game's fun. I really like that game. But Tales of Vesperia, so I'm probably not going to be that interested in Tales of Arise. Okay, so this next one, add this to the very, very, very short list. Very short list of things I was wrong about. Also, I think God damn it, if I did. Okay, sorry, talking to myself. Very short list of things I was wrong about. Oh, shit. God damn it. Okay. Heard myself, and now I'm eyeing. That rumored George R.R. Martin, that's right, George Railroad Martin, From Software crossover thing, that's real. I said it wasn't real. I said it's, I mean, because here's the thing. It sounds like a rumor. It absolutely sounds like a rumor. Oh, hey, we're all talking about Game of Thrones. We're all obsessed with Game of Thrones. You know what's hot right now? It's Game of Thrones. You know what's hot right now? George R.R. Martin. George Railroad Martin. You know, and you know what else is hot right now? Wouldn't that be awesome if he made a FromSoft game? You know, he said it a while ago that he'd always love to make a FromSoft game, and it fit too perfectly. It sounded like a rumor. Apparently it's real. It's called Elden Ring. We don't know anything else about it. It's just got a cinematic, barely even a cinematic trailer. Barely even. It's a tone piece trailer. That's all we got. Okay. It's a real thing. That's fine. We also got to see gameplay of the teased Battletoads game. It's 2D, 3-player, couch co-op, side-scrolling brawler. Amazing looking animation. I mean, like, it looks really, really cool. I never thought I'd actually say this, but I want to play it. I want to play this game. No release date, but it looks cool. Also, they're bringing Microsoft Flight Simulator back. That's the sound of people caring. We have a name for the Dragon Ball Z RPG we reported on a long time ago. I mean, this is definitely like at least last year. It's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It is coming 2020, and we still, like, they showed gameplay. They showed in-game cinematics. They showed gameplay. I don't know what this game is. I don't know how do you make an RPG in Dragon Ball universe? I burped. How do you What is this game? And it looks like every other game in the series, too, by the way. It looks like Xenoverse, that's what it's called. Xenoverse 2, a lot of Xeno games. Xenoverse 2, Tenkaichi, Budokai. It looks like all that shit. I don't know what this game is, and they showed it to me. I feel like this is exactly like Death Stranding all over again. I don't know what I'm looking at. And I love it. No, I hate it. I want to know what this game is. Tell me what you are, game. We got a release date for the Outer Worlds. That's that RPG that Obsidian is making. It looks like Fallout meets BioShock. It's coming out October 25th, which is, fairly soon. It looks fun, and I trust Obsidian. Obsidian makes good games, but the graphics kind of look dated, and for some reason they decided that they were gonna go really close up with a lot of the cinematics and characters and stuff, and it doesn't look good. And some of the explosions they had on there looked really bad. It didn't really look that pretty. So what I'm hoping is that it's either, they have some sick gameplay, mechanics in there that require a lot of, things that had to take back the graphics a little bit, or maybe there's just a whole bunch of content. I don't know, but I'm a little worried. I'm not as sold as I was before on this game. Craig says, DBZ is not meant for the world of RPGs. You can only vary Energy Blast so much. Right? How do you make it? You get me, dog. I don't get it. I don't get it. So we'll see. I mean, October 25th, I'm sure, actually, you know what? I'm sure that that it's probably playable on the E3 show floor. So, maybe we'll hear some good stuff about it. Maybe people are like, oh my God, this game, was so good. We found out what Ninja Theory, makers of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, is working on. Everybody who knows about Ninja Theory and Hellblade, they all say the same thing. Give this team, because Microsoft bought them, give this team, have them make the next God of War. Because when you look at Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice and God of War together, I mean, the two are very, very similar, and that's what Xbox needs. They need a solid single-player narrative-driven story game. And there were leaks before the conference that they were working on something multiplayer-focused, instead of what everybody wants them to make. And it turns out they're making a first-person action combat multiplayer game that focuses on melee. It's called Bleeding Edge, and nothing about it looks original. Everything about it looks like Overwatch meets For Honor meets Borderlands meets, it's just, dude, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was one of the most original games I played in a while. And then they make, they made us a delicious steak that was savory and filling and delicious and sits with you. You go home thinking about that steak. And then the next day, they made popcorn. And popcorn can be yummy, but it's not steak. Popcorn isn't steak, you guys. There's a quote. Popcorn isn't steak. So I don't know. For the moment, I don't want it, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be really cool. I mean, they're good at making games. They're good at melee. I mean, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was pretty freaking good melee. So maybe. I don't know. Ori and the Will of the Wisps got a release date. I absolutely expected them to say, and it's available today. Kind of like they did with, what was it, Unraveled 2. But they didn't. They said it's February 11th, 2020. Okay, so the next one. And I really want to play Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That looks really good. Here's something I didn't think I would ever want to play. If you told me, actually, I mean, they basically did, but then they showed me gameplay. If somebody just said, hey, Minecraft Dungeons is coming out, Like, not interested. No, that sounds, no, I don't want to play that. It's a third-person, top-down, co-op multiplayer game from Mojang. Diablo-style kind of game, dungeon crawler, whatever. It's coming spring 2020, and it actually kind of looks fun. Like, I wouldn't want to pay more than like $20 for it. So if it's more than that, I'll wait for a sale. But it looks like it'd be a fun little time waster, grindy kind of simple mechanics. That seems like something I can get into. I'm hoping it turns out pretty well. I hope it's a good game. And it's made from the people at Mojang. Like, this is the closest anyone's gonna get to Minecraft 2. Although, shit, I know we talked about it a long time ago, but when they announced that, that's never gonna happen. I legit, for a second when I was looking at it, because it's from the creators of Minecraft, and you're looking at it like, this is Minecraft. This is Minecraft, but with like swords and shields and like, because the trailer didn't start out top down. It was like flying through the area. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, they're fucking doing it. It's Minecraft 2. They're just making it an RPG. I mean, I guess that's how you would do it. You know what? I wonder if that's what they were originally doing. I wonder if they tried to make Minecraft RPG and it just didn't work out. So they're like, or Minecraft 2 and make it an RPG and it just didn't work out. And they're like, you know what? Let's just make this a different game. Maybe. So there was a mostly cinematic trailer for a game that I 100% like thought was Outlast 3. Like, I don't know if you guys watch E3. You thought that was Outlast 3 also, right? Everything about it looked Outlast. Your character uses a camera to see in the dark. It's all first person with spooky stuff around you and pop outs and all kinds of craziness. It turns out it's a Blair Witch game. They're making a Blair Witch game because that's relevant. I'll tell you, if they don't have the ability to turn the camera around and shake, that'd be wasted opportunity. It comes out August 30th. I know how I feel about this. I think this is going to go one of two. There's actually only one of two ways this is going to go. This is either going to be a great Outlast clone, because I mean, from what we saw, it's the exact same like thing. It's the exact same format. Run away from spooky things and use your camera. So it's either going to be a great Outlast clone or a shitty Outlast wannabe. It can't be original. There's already that. I mean, like, it's like back when Parasite Eve and Dino Crisis, all these games came out. They're all just good or bad Resident Evil clones. I'm not saying that just because of the game mechanics and the looks and stuff, it automatically has to be Resident Evil. I'm not saying like that. I'm saying that the core of those games, the foundation, no, beyond the foundation, like the skeletal structure of those games are Resident Evil. You just swap out things. Well, it's not zombies, it's dinosaurs. It's not dinosaurs, it's parasites named Eve. Like, not just saying because Doom created the first-person shooter that all of a sudden, Wolfenstein is just a Doom clone. Which actually, did Wolfenstein come out first? No. Regardless, just saying. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. We got a thing. We got a thing going on. It's coming out this fall to PC, remastered audio and 4K graphics. I'm not really much into Age of Empires, so that's cool. Forza Horizon 4 is getting a LEGO Speed Champions expansion. Launches this week. All right. Here's one I really want to play. The Legend of Wright. So first of all, I'm right all the time, so obviously I want to play it now. I just realized, oh my god, I'm not going through this fast enough. We're 50 fucking minutes in, and I am on page not going fast enough. Okay, so we're gonna blast through some of this stuff. Legend of Wright. Okay, so it's an RPG coming in 2020. It looks like it's drawn on notebook paper, which looks really, really cool. Like like all the animation stuff looks like pen and paper animations coming to life, and there are. Sorry, I'm super distracted right now. I got like Google notifications saying that like a security thing. Oh, it's my wife. She's hacking into our email address. Okay. Sorry, it got really distracted. It's like, oh, somebody on a Moto thing went to your Josh and Jamie email address. Okay, so there are some segments of this game where it's not all just on the pen and paper. It'll be like a cutout. So they show like you're fighting a dragon, and you have your cutout of your character and a cutout of like a princess or something, and then like somebody moves the character to, like, you can see like a little hand move it to the dragon, and then the dragon like pulls out like a little pull piece, and then it kind of it blows up or something. I don't know. It looks really, really fun. I really want to play it. Even if the gameplay is shit, I want to play this just for the visuals. I mean, that is like possibly the most beautiful and unique aesthetic that I've seen in a very, very long time. I really, really want to play that. We got a new Wasteland 3 trailer, which I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about Wasteland 3. Sorry. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. It's going to include all 9 films, all in one game. It's a new game coming 2020. Moving on, 12 Minutes. It is an Annapurna game. They're the guys who made What Remains of Edith Finch, Ashen, all these really, really unique Donut County, all these really, really unique artistic almost games. This one's described as, quote, interactive thriller about a man in a time loop. It's coming soon. I mean, even if it's anything like those other games, I'm 100% on board. You should watch the trailer. In fact, I don't even want to spoil the trailer. I know my job is to like report the news and stuff. Go watch the trailer. It's really good. It's called 12 Minutes. Looks really good. We got a release window and some footage of Dying Light 2. It's coming spring 2020. We learned what Gears Pop is. It's a mobile game that kind of looks like a tower defense strategy game. Got no release date on that one. State of Decay 2 is getting DLC. It's called Heartland. It's going to focus a lot on story. Apparently it's super, super difficult. It is free and available now. That's cool how they did that. Then they announced games that hit Game Pass the same day. That was Batman Arkham Knight, Hollow Knight, Borderlands The Handsome Collection, and Metro Exodus. That's really cool. They got a brand new game. Maybe Metro Exodus isn't selling so well. I don't know. They announced that Game Pass for... Okay, so here we go. Game Pass for PC is launching the open beta that same day. It's going to be regularly $10 a month. Or $4.99 intro price, and will eventually include over 100 games. There's some really weird phrasing with all of that, because at first they said it's like $1, and I went on the site and it's like, oh yeah, it's $1, but then I tried to buy it and it wasn't gonna let me buy it, and then like I reset my computer and it's like, it's not $1, it's $5. And then I checked everywhere and like every place is saying, oh yeah, it's $5. But I heard them say $1, and it was $1 for a little bit, and even Mark messaged me and I messaged other people like, hey, it's $1. Apparently it's not $1. I don't know. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I still don't understand what I have then, because I have Game Pass and I've been playing Sea of Thieves and it's a lot of fun. Made a new friend. His name is Mashed Brotatoes. Greatest name ever. Mashed Brotatoes. I don't know what I have then. I guess I have Xbox Game Pass, but then some games are available on PC. I don't know. It's weird. The Master Chief Collection is coming to PC, starting with Halo Reach, which is pretty cool. And then finally, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It's a new deal that they have, combines console and PC Game Pass along with Xbox Live Gold for $14.99 a month. That's a pretty good deal. That's pretty good if you have an Xbox game console. Because the Game Pass for PC and Game Pass for console is, I don't know why I'm getting rid of that because I have more news on there. They're two separate things, two completely separate things. So when you have, like, I guess I have the console version of Xbox Game Pass that is separate from the PC thing, even though I guess there's some cross buy games. I don't know. You know what it could be is all the games that are on there are new, and I think they said that all games released by like Microsoft will be available for both console and PC. So I'm guessing that's why those games are on there. Like it's cross-buy. I don't know. All right, let's move on to Ubisoft. So, oh my god, that's just the first the conference. Okay, so Ubisoft, they started the show with the leaked Watch Dogs Legion. This is the thing that we reported on last week, and the leak said that you can control any NPC. It turns out that that's true. The system actually works a lot cooler than it sounds. When you want to control an NPC, you need to unlock them by playing their origin story. So the example they gave was, they went to unlock this guy who was good at like drones or like attacking drones. And so as you go to unlock him, you like hit the button or whatever, he gets arrested. And then you have to go save him from, the thing or whatever. And it becomes like this whole like mission, and then at the end of that, then you unlock him. And I don't know, I think that's really cool. This will also allow you to create whatever team you want, from ex-secret agent to little old ladies. They kind of gave an example of that because you can control little old ladies in here, and all the animations, I mean, it's not every single character is unique, but all the different groups, like if you have a little old person, they all have different animations than, a brawler would, or a cop would, or they react differently. They still accomplish the same thing, so you can still have like a quick execute thing, animation, but the little lady doesn't necessarily flip all the way around and do crazy stuff. It looks really cool. I mean, I haven't been this excited for a Watch Dogs game since Watch Dogs 1, and that was based on a lie. This looks amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. It is coming out March 6th, 2020. It looks so good. We got a teaser for a game called Gods and Monsters. It's made from the Assassin's Creed guys. Looks like Assassin's Creed meets Breath of the Wild, kind of, visual style. It's coming out February 25th, 2020. And I'm a little surprised on how relatively soon it's coming out, and we didn't get any gameplay. I don't know, maybe they'll have it on show floor or something, but that's weird that they didn't show any gameplay at all, and it's coming out so soon. I mean, it's so soon, yes, it's, June, but game development-wise, that's pretty soon. Another leak turned out to be true. Ubisoft is launching its own game subscription. Huh. It's launching on September 3rd. It's going to be $15 a month, and oh my god, it's going to be playable on Google Stadia. Fuck out of here. Sup, fools? I see the future, fools. I see the future. I'm a psychic. I'm clairvoyant as fuck. What you know about this, boy? Coming at me with Josh, you're not psychic. You don't have powers. I got powers of foresight. I could see the future, boy. Man, wait till you see the other thing I was right about. If you didn't already watch the conference. You don't even know. You don't even know. Another leaked game shown was Roller Champions. It's a skill-based team PvP sports game. There's a pre-alpha demo available for the next few days on PC. It looks okay. It's basically, and I said this last week, it looks like, what's it called? Rocket League. Looks like Rocket League, but you're driving in circles, and you're not driving, you're skating, and it looks okay. There's a new Rainbow Six game. Didn't see that coming. It's called Rainbow Six Quarantine. It is a 3-player tactical PvE co-op. Comes out early 2020. Didn't see any gameplay, but I mean, it's kind of sounds like Left 4 Dead, maybe. Could you imagine that? Left 4 Dead and in the Siege engine with all the destructible environments and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. We'll see. Just Dance is coming out in 2019. It's coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and the Wii. Just the Wii. I'm not saying Wii U. It's coming out for Wii. You know why? Because people still buy Just Dance on the Wii. True story. Absolutely true story. Okay, so this next one. This one kind of pissed me off a little bit. I've been saying for a while they need to make a new Splinter Cell game. It just makes sense. The demand for it is there. Everybody wants one. I'm sure they're working on it. They have to be working on it. They'd be fucking idiots to not be working on it. And I was so confident that at some point in the conference, I mean, that was my one prediction, is that all of a sudden the whole room's going to go dark and there's going to be 3 little green lights that pop up and then bam, Splinter Cell. And that's all we would get. I wasn't even going to say we're going to see gameplay or cinematic or anything like that. We're just going to Splinter Cell. I thought they were going to close out the show with that. They didn't. But you know what they did have? And I was kind of right. Kind of. They're releasing a new mobile strategy game called Tom Clancy's Elite Squad that brings together characters from multiple Tom Clancy games, including Sam Fisher. So they're kind of making a Splinter Cell game. I mean, the fact that they keep teasing us with this is bullshit. It really is. Stop teasing. Stop teasing me with it. Wade Brown says, can I get a guest spot when I'm in town, bro? Dude, absolutely. Absolutely. I live in St. Pete now, but if you can come into town, you can absolutely guest spot. You only have 3 episodes left, though. Actually, 2, because the last episode is kind of a special thing. So you've got 2 weeks to make it to St. Pete. And even if you can't make it on episode, come out and we'll grab a beer. Okay. So, yeah, it just stop teasing Sam Fisher Splinter Cell stuff and just give me goddamn Splinter Cell. Just give it to me. I want it. At least a remake, for Christ's sakes. At least a remake. Give Splinter Cell the Resident Evil 2 remake, polish. Just give it that old thing. The Division 2 is getting its first major update, and it's going to be free to play from June 13th to the 16th. Additionally, Rainbow Six Siege's next season, Operation Phantom Sight, is out now. For Honor is having a new limited time event called Shadows of the Hitokiri. It's available this week. It's weird that they're having a limited time event. I don't know. That's weird. Like they spend so much time making something and then they're like, it's going to be gone. It's like when Ghost Recon Wildlands had like the Predator and stuff in there. Like, yeah, we're going to have this really cool thing that we spent like so much money developing and then you'll never see it again. Give us the thing. Adventure Time is crossing over with Brawlhalla. I'm not really familiar with that game, but it kind of looks like Smash Brothers. It's available today and playable for free until June 25th. In a random kind of thing, Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny, he plays Mac, showed up to talk about a new TV show that they're premiering on Apple TV called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, which actually, it looks interesting. But it's going to be on Apple TV, so I'm not going to watch it. I'll just pirate it. All right. Most importantly, John Bernthal, the guy who plays Punisher, the guy who plays the dude from Walking Dead, Shane. Yeah, Shane. He brought a dog on stage. Highlight of E3. He brought a good boy on stage. He also talked about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which is coming out on October 4th, and that there's a beta launching on September 5th, and he brought a dog on stage. He was a good boy. And when people clapped, he went, oh, and he popped his little head up. And he was like, oh. Well, then he put his head back down. Because he was a good boy when he was just tired. Just need a little nap. Justin Edwards says, aren't you starring in that? Do you think I look like John Bernthal? I'll take. That's a good looking man. No, actually, no. He's not. He's just a manly man. Well, if you're saying I look like a manly man, I will take that. I don't think you're saying that, though, because that's silly. All right, let's move on to Bethesda. So Bethesda, I do want to stop and talk about this one for a second. Bethesda, that was the saddest conference I have ever fucking seen in the history of watching E3. It was nails on a chalkboard the entire time. Like, the majority was apologies for how shitty the company has been, and they stuffed the crowd with so many annoying plants. Now, I get it. these conferences, they will always put plants in the crowd because they need people to cheer for stupid stuff that gamers don't actually care about. They need enough yays to, to out volume the no's, when bad things happen. But not every single, because that's the thing. You can see on the screen, not everybody, actually most people aren't clapping, but they have the microphone and all the focus of the cameras on the people who are losing their shit over everything. There was this one guy that kept going, yeah, for everything. And it distracted every single announcer. You're like, all right, guys, we're coming out with a new game. Yeah! And yeah, he's excited. So I work at Bethesda. Yeah! Yeah. And, we're a family here. I mean, it's that awkward. It is that awkward. And I'm not saying that these people need to be, like, the most eloquent people ever because they're in the video game industry. I get that. But, oh my God, I wanted to kill that Woo guy. He was so annoying. Oh, okay. So going back, because there's a delay in chat, Justin Edwards is saying Mac, that I look like Mac. Yes, I'm absolutely Mac. In fact, the more weight I gain, I'm becoming fat Mac more and more every day. Like it's dad bod for real. And then Lauren Brown asks, can you pet the dog? Well, the dog was not in the game. The dog was on the screen, and I wish I could pet the dog on the screen. That'd be fantastic. And then Wade Brown wants to know, why won't they ever bring back Future Soldier in the first Recon series? Okay, so they're trying to. That's what the Ghost Recon is trying, especially with this new one, Breakpoint. That's what they're trying to be. But capturing the same magic, it's like Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six with Siege is trying to capture the magic of Vegas, but they're not understanding what made that game so great. But that's a good question. Okay, so Bethesda. They announced this thing, Ghostwire Tokyo. This is one of the videos that everyone's saying, like, oh, it looks so beautiful. We didn't see shit. We didn't see shit. We didn't see anything. We saw a cinematic that wasn't even in-game footage. I'm interested solely based off the tone and story. It looks creepy. It looks fun. All we know about it is that people are disappearing in Tokyo, and it's an action-adventure game, not horror. So that sounds fun. I'm excited for the game based on the information provided me, but nobody can say, wow, that looks like a really awesome game. No, you haven't seen it. They're catfishing us. Okay, if I freaking spent hours photoshopping like my face, like that, and I added like 6-packs to my like cheeks or something, I don't know, whatever sexy people have, and I went on a dating website. First of all, I get in a lot of trouble with my wife, but just for the sake of this conversation, this argument, if I did that, and then I go out on the date, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck, you don't have 6-packs on your cheeks, and I'd be like, you should have known better, bitch. And then she's laughing, which she should, because you shouldn't call women bitch. I mean, that's degrading towards women, but I'm the piece of shit who put 6-packs on my cheeks, but and then I just expect everyone to go, oh, that's a really good looking guy. You can't say that. You don't know me. You can't say I'm a good looking guy until you meet me in person. Don't. And yeah, Lauren Brown was right. Most of the Bethesda conference was cinematics. Again, not saying I'm not excited for this game because I trust. I forgot the company, but but they make good games. I like The Evil Within, and if you're telling me that it's an action adventure game, with and I said not horror. I don't know if I said it out loud. Not survival horror. If it's an action adventure game, not a survival horror game, then that sounds fun, and I'm down. All right. Moving on, the studio behind Dishonored, Arcane Lion, they have a new game called Deathloop. Again, didn't see anything, but it looks interesting because of the story. The trailer showed 2 people who are stuck in a time loop and have to kill each other over and over again. That sounds fun. Wade Brown wants to know, what are your thoughts on the new Kojima game? I was actually talking about this last week. I think that it is either going to be the best or the worst game ever made, or at least that he ever made. I think we're going to look back on it and either go, that was a masterpiece, or that was what happens when you let a crazy man off the leash. Personally, I'm hoping for a masterpiece. No matter what, I think that we're going to walk away from that game going, that was the most unique game I've ever played. Okay. Got to keep moving. Oh my God, we're already at 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I don't want the camera to die again. That was terrible last time. We got a release date for Doom Eternal. It is November 22nd. It will have a multiplayer mode called Battle Mode, where 2 players control demons, and then they fight 1 player who controls Doom Guy. That sounds fun. Gameplay looks great, same as the last one. Here's one thing that I predicted incorrectly. They actually talked about Fallout 76. Didn't expect those words to come out of their mouth, but they talked about it. They even talked about the fact that it had a rough launch, and they're adding a free update called Wastelanders that adds, get this, NPCs. NPCs with full dialogue trees. Like a real game. It's just, I don't know. It's coming out this fall. You can play Fallout 76 for free on June 10th. Between June 10th and June 17th. It's also getting a Battle Royale mode, because why the fuck wouldn't it? 52-player Battle Royale. Looks like you could build bases with turrets and stuff, which actually looks kind of cool. That looks fine. Something else I didn't know I wanted. Elder Scrolls Blades. First of all, Elder Scrolls Blades, played it on mobile. I hate it. I thought it was really, really bad. But it's coming to Switch. Switchblades. It's coming this fall. It's free to play and cross play. I could see playing that on Switch, because the thing I didn't like about on mobile is the swiping. I don't like swiping, and I don't like playing any games on mobile that isn't made for a touchscreen. Yeah. And Wade, we'll get to Final Fantasy VII when we get to Square. Okay, so Elder Scrolls Online is getting a DLC called Scalebreaker. Don't care. Elder Scrolls Legends next expansion is called Moons of Elsewhere. Comes out June 27th. If you want to know where I'll be, it'll be elsewhere from Moons of Elsewhere. Well, I don't care about those things. Here's another thing. I was actually wrong about. And you know what really sucks is when you're wrong, but you're still right because there's no reason for the thing to happen. So I said, there's no way, because somebody asked, do you think they're going to talk about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield? I said, no, there's absolutely no way they're going to talk about it for a couple reasons. One, they said, we will not be discussing Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield in any capacity. They said that. Additionally, those games are way, 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 way ahead. Like, they're like, at the very least, late 2020. More likely, 2021. We'll see it next E3, I'm sure. But they actually talked about it. And here's the thing. I was wrong because they talked about it, but I was right because the only thing they said is, we're still working on them. That's it. I know you guys are wondering about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. Well, all I gotta say is, we're still hard at work on them. Moving on. That's how it went. We're not going to be talking about that in any capacity. So let's talk about it. Like, are you fucking... Oh, Astral Chains. Oh, Lauren. Oh, dude. I can't wait. We'll get on that. Actually, no. Did we get anything on Astral Chains? Yeah, we did, right? That's a Nintendo. We'll get to that. A Wolfenstein VR game is coming out in July. It's called Cyberpilot. It looks okay. Wolfenstein Youngblood coming July 26th. Looks amazing. Got to see some really awesome gameplay. They're coming out with an item-based... You know what? I don't even... Commander Keen. Look up, if you want to learn more about Commander Keen, look up Commander Keen. That was the most annoying... Like... When you go to E3... You know who watches E3? Gamers. You know who doesn't watch E3? People who don't know about games. And they come out with this thing for an item-based action puzzle mobile game that it looks like gacha gaming. It looks like pay to fucking everything. It looks so terrible, and they're trying to sell it like you would a game to somebody who doesn't know about games. Like, they're like, oh, you know, there's lots of different levels to play, and you'll go up against skeletons and orcs, and you and possibly another player will have to fight to get coins. And like, okay, coins. Oh, really? And I'll fight skeletons in faraway places? You don't say. Like, I really did not enjoy the Bethesda conference. So yeah, look up Commander Keen if you want. Rage 2 is getting an expansion called Rise of Ghosts, coming out later this year. The most impressive bit of news. This is where the Bethesda conference went from like a 2 to a 5. Orion. So check this out. We've been wondering, like, how are they gonna do all this game streaming stuff? Orion is a new software technology. There's some kind of weird computer science that lets games stream with lower latency, and it will work with any game engine. They're saying that they're gonna offer their thing to like any company who wants to use it. I'm sure they have to pay for it, but like, this is the thing that will help game streaming work, because latency is the biggest issue when it comes to these things. So hell yeah. Way to go, Bethesda. Way to go. All right, let's move on to Square Enix. We got our first look at the Avengers game. Now we finally understand what they mean by continuous single-player story. They're planning on releasing story content for the game over multiple years. So they're basically doing what Destiny 2 is doing now. It's going to have 4-player online co-op, and every new character and map added to the game will be free. Hell yeah. At launch, you'll be able to play as 5 characters: Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Iron Man. Now, a lot of really dumb people are complaining over the internet. They're complaining that the look of the characters... they're complaining about the look of the characters and how they're completely unique over the MCU and the comics. And then the really, really dumb people are saying, well, why couldn't they just... you're clearly going for MCU sort of dialogue and tone. Well, why don't you just make it look like the characters from the MCU? Do you have any idea how expensive that would be, Cletus? I don't know why your name's Cletus, but god damn it, that'd be so expensive. They don't need to do that. They are crafting a completely original story. Even if they could do that, they are crafting a completely original story that is separate from both the MCU and the comics. Let them create unique looking characters. They're still in the same vein of what we know to be Captain America and Iron Man and all that. Like, it doesn't matter what their alter ego looks like. It doesn't matter what Tony Stark looks like. It matters that it's fucking Iron Man, that he looks like Iron Man. Like, that's all that matters, is that we get Iron Man and Thor and Captain America throws a shield, and sometimes he holds it up while Iron Man shoots laser beams at it, and they do the thing, and then Hulk gets mad and he gets big. Like, that's all that really matters. So shut the fuck up, Cletus. I don't think, that being said, we saw a little bit of gameplay. It was kind of brief. The story looks pretty decent and well acted. It all overall looks solid. I want to say this game's... I think it's going to blow anybody away, but I think it's going to be a fun experience. I'm going to say it's going to be probably like a solid 8. It's coming out May 15th, 2020. So, right around the corner. Typical Cletus. Typical Cletus. All right, sorry. I know I'm blasting through the chat and stuff, but we're gonna go so overtime, and I'm still. I think we're about halfway. A little over halfway. No, we're over halfway. Yeah, we're like 2/3. Okay. Got to keep this under 2 hours. Here we go. Moving on. Got more information, including a release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's coming out March 3rd. It is confirmed that the game will be episodic, and the Midgard portion is large enough to be its own game as it has been expanded. So it's so big, in fact, that it will take up 2 Blu-ray discs. Okay. So, Wade was asking me, how I feel about it, in 2 discs. First of all, Red Dead Redemption 2 is 2 discs, so this isn't going to be the first game that comes out on 2 Blu-ray discs. And then overall, everybody's trying to figure out like how we feel about the fact that it's episodic. Now, the fact that it's coming out on 2 discs alone is impressive. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy VII. This is going to be my first experience. I actually decided against playing it because I wanted to play the remake. The fact that it's coming out, or the fact that it's so massive to be on 2 discs, to be, you know, like they say, they're confirming the game is big enough to be a full-on game. What I'm thinking is the episodic thing is not a cash grab. I think these will be 2 full-price SKUs. I don't think that it's Square Enix being like, hey, let's try to get as much money out of these guys as we can. I don't think it's that at all. I think that it legitimately, yeah, I'm willing to bet they had some kind of meeting and they're like, you know what? We can't do this unless it's episodic. We can't. It's too big. You know, I imagine like it's probably going to be, both games are probably going to total over 160 hours, I bet. Something like that. So, it makes sense. I'm fine with it. That's my opinion. Lawrence says, time for Cloud to put on that dress. And then Wade Brown says, you have to play the original Final Fantasy VII to make the full comparison. That is true. I'll give you that. But here's my problem, though, is that unless you've played Final Fantasy VII to completion, you can't... It's not a game that somebody today can go back and play and enjoy. Because I tried. I did. But that is a very dated system. I mean, it is a slow grind. It is... The animations, I can get past certain animations, it's fine, but like the pacing, there's so many issues with that game that if you don't have nostalgia to carry you through it, like I'm going to play Final Fantasy VIII, that is also a very, very dated game, but I'm going to have the nostalgia to carry me through the whole game. Then you have certain games that are timeless, like Final Fantasy IX, where, you know, the system that they had in place there it's still relevant to today. But 7 is kind of it's a grind. And I'm gonna go with the 7 remake. So they also showed us how the battle system will work. It's gonna be a combination of what we saw in 15 and in 7. So as your ATB meter fills, you can stop time and execute attacks. I think that is freaking awesome. I think it looks great how they executed that. I'm really looking forward to seeing more gameplay that isn't edited for time, and it is going to be pretty awesome. And I actually skipped ahead to the next story, which is Final Fantasy VIII is getting remastered. I thought that was lost. I've been saying for the longest time. In fact, I'm not even sure that this isn't true, but the story was Final Fantasy VIII was lost, like, just to time, that they didn't save it. They did, because just because you have like the disc of the game doesn't mean that you have the game. You need the source code and stuff. And the rumor was that the game was just lost, that, it got deleted or something. But I mean, apparently something happened and it's coming out on PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and PC this year. So I'm wondering, what happened with this one, because it's not like 8 was like a huge fan favorite. They released, they just recently released 7, 9, 10, and 11, or 12. Yeah, 12, because 11 was an MMO. So they skipped 8. Why save 8 for a later reveal? I don't know. It's really weird. I'm sure there's an interesting story there. Romancing Saga 3 is getting a remake, coming to PS4, Vita, Switch, PC, Xbox One, iOS, and Android. Saga Scarlet Grace. This is a game that came out in Japan on Vita. It's coming to Switch, PS4, Steam, iOS, and Android. We got a new game from People Can Fly called Outriders. Again, didn't see anything from the game, just a tone cinematic. It's coming out summer 2020. It is a 1 to 3 player co-op shooter from the makers of Gears of War Judgment. More information will be announced this winter. Learned about that game from Tokyo RPG Factory we talked about years ago. It is called Oninaki, and it's coming out August 22nd. It looks pretty dope. I like the visual, like the cinematics thing there. War of the Visions. It's a follow-up to the mobile game Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Don't care. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition coming to mobile, Switch, and PS4 this winter. The Last Remnant got remastered. It got remastered with the PS4 last year. but it is coming out. It came out with the announcement on Switch. Like, oh, it's coming to Switch today, and it came out. Circuit Superstars is a top-down racing game coming in 2020, and then finally Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting DLC. It's called Remind, Mind, coming this winter, and I've either played every single Kingdom Hearts game, or I've watched, the cinematics and story summaries for that. I swear, if you go like a month without re-upping on Kingdom Hearts, you just forget everything. At least I do, because I'm looking at that, I'm like, who is Xenohorde again? Wait, who's that? Okay, so there's like three white hair people. Which one is that? Is he the guy who went back in time? Like, I don't know what I was looking at, so I'll play it, but they really need to have like a summary thing that just keeps the story summarizing. All right, finally, last bit is Nintendo. So, remember that insane prediction that I made last week? That everybody was saying, no, it's not going to happen. Our squire, Mark, said, no, not going to happen. Brandon said, no, not going to happen. Everybody said, nope, it's not going to happen. I'm like, you know what, guys? You know what's going to happen? Breath of the Wild 2. I'm going to just a crazy prediction. I'm going to say Breath of the Wild 2 announced. They're like, nah, dude, that's crazy. That's so crazy. That would never happen. Well, I was right. I swear, I get like 20,000 cool points for this one. I would jump up again and do my shit talk dance, but I am now tired from speaking for an hour and a half straight. So just imagine them walking around going, yeah, boy, yeah, and then doing dances, and then maybe like a little Fortnite little thing. A little that thing. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. I was right. All the single ladies, I was right. All the single ladies, I was right. Confirmed. All we got was a teaser trailer, but it's happening. Also, Banjo-Kazooie and Dragon's Quest Hero is coming to Smash Brothers. That's pretty cool. Animal Crossing New Horizon has been delayed. It is coming out on my birthday, actually, March 20th, 2020. Originally, it was supposed to come out this year, got delayed. I don't get what everybody likes about Animal Crossing. I mean, it doesn't really look like my kind of game. I liked Stardew, but this looks a little different from Stardew. I don't know. Not really my kind of game, I don't think. We got a release date for the remake of Link's Awakening. It's coming out September 20th. They have a new feature where you can earn different chambers throughout the game and then create a customized dungeon. That's pretty cool. Cadence of Hyrule is actually coming out this week. That's pretty cool. I like when they do that. Like, it's coming out tomorrow or today or this week. It's releasing in 2 days, actually, on the 13th. That's the crossover between the Crypt of the Necrodancer and the Legend of Zelda. I'm definitely going to check that one out. We got more information on Luigi's Mansion 3. It has couch co-op, yes, and online mode. And when you're playing co-op, this is the greatest thing Nintendo has ever created. This is my favorite thing. Are you ready? When you play co-op, one player plays as Luigi, the other one plays as Gooigi. It's a Luigi made of goo. Gooigi. It's my favorite thing. It's so funny. It's so amazing. We got no release date, but we saw gameplay, and it looks pretty good. Looks like a typical Switch game. It's coming out, expected to come out in 2019. I'm thinking, and they should, that it's coming out for Halloween. But they're worried that they're going to announce, hey, it's coming out Halloween, and then they miss the release date and everybody gets pissed at them. So that's my prediction. I think they're trying to come out on Halloween, but I don't think we're gonna know until they give us a firm release date. And actually, we'll never know if it's not. So we got a release date for Daemon X Machina. We got a beta for this one a while ago, and a lot of people were complaining about it, saying that it had like frame rate issues and stuff. Hopefully they fixed that up, because the cinematics still kind of looked a little choppy. It's coming out September 13th. Got No More Heroes 3 teaser. I don't know anything about No More Heroes. I've heard it's a great series. I want to try it, but I don't know. It's coming out 2020. Collection of Mana is coming to Switch with translated versions of the first 3 games in the Mana series. Actually, so I think that's already out. That came out, right? Hold on. I'm going to double check this one. Collection of Mana. That is... Yeah, that's out today. So that's already out. It has translated versions of the first 3 games in the Mana series, which is Final Fantasy Adventure for Game Boy, Secret of Mana for SNES, and then Trials of Mana, which was an unreleased in the US game, a sequel to Secret of Mana. Additionally, a 3D remake of Trials of Mana is coming to Switch early 2020. Additionally, Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition is coming to Switch on September 27th. I'm really excited for that one because, again, like I said, I've been on this RPG kick, and I've had my eye on this game, Dragon Quest XI, for a while. I heard, pretty decent things about it. I've never actually played a Dragon Quest game, and this sounds like the perfect game to have on the Switch. So, now, okay. Jesus Christ, this next one. Yes, added to the list of things I was wrong about. But there's not a single person in the gaming industry who knows the capabilities of the Switch and has actually ever played this game. Nobody believed that this would actually happen. This is the equivalent of saying Grand Theft... Actually, this is more impressive than saying Grand Theft Auto 6 coming to Switch. This is more impressive than that. The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch. How? What? Here's the thing. First of all, we all know that the Switch isn't the most powerful thing. Okay? It's basically a very fast phone. The fact that Witcher 3 is coming to Switch is a technical marvel on multiple levels, because unlike other games like Doom, okay? Doom, the way they can get that to... And Doom Eternal is coming out on Switch like day in, day of, like with the other releases. The way they can do that is they tone down the graphics. That's what they do with a lot of games. They tone down the graphics. But here's the thing about games like Assassin's Creed, Witcher, Grand Theft Auto. It's not just about the graphics. If, let's say, I have my gaming PC over here. I've got GeForce GTX, 1080, whatever. And I have a pretty decent CPU. We got the Ryzen 2700X. And then I can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it looks great. It runs fine, 60 frames. Fantastic. If I had a significantly shitty, let's just say like 3 generations back CPU. I mean, I don't know what the equivalent of that would be, but just a not very good CPU. 3100X, I think is... No, that's higher. I don't know. Anyways, if I had like a 4-core CPU, it doesn't matter what kind of graphics card I have. The game's barely going to run. I could turn down the graphics all I want. I could potato the hell out of that game. It is not going to look good at all. It's going to look terrible. And Mark Mayfield said exactly. It's going to look like dog doo-doo. Well, I mean, but here's the thing. It'll look like dog doo-doo. It still won't run. Well, it'll stutter because it's CPU intensive. So when you tell me that Witcher 3 is coming to Switch, you can only make it look so bad. In fact, they don't even really need to tone down the graphics that much. Look at Doom. Look at games like that. Graphics aren't the problem. It's the CPU. And the Switch has a shitty CPU. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Remember how in Breath of the Wild, how there was that issue they had in the forest where like all of a sudden it was slowing down and it was like getting really bad frame rate? Then they had to patch it out. You know what that was? That was a CPU issue, because in the forest there's lots of little things flying around and you need a CPU to register all those little things. That's not graphics, that's CPU, man. I don't know what this game's going to look. First of all, it's not going to have shadows. Shadows is a more CPU thing. It's not gonna have shadows. It's not gonna have particle. I mean, it's. I don't know what this game is going to look like, and I am just gonna be completely amazed that it's happening. All right, we gotta keep moving. I gotta keep this under 2 hours, and I will be able, because we only got a little bit left, but still, it's a long episode. Resident Evil 5 and 6 coming to Switch. 6, don't really care about. But I'm excited for 5, and I'll tell you what, I played 4 recently, and it didn't hold up like I remembered. The game's a little bit more dated than I thought it would be. I'm hoping though that 5 holds up like it does in my mind, because 5 was a little bit more fluid as far as controls go, and that was my biggest issue with 4. Is the controls were still kind of they didn't quite nail it yet. I don't care about 6, but I'm really, because 5 was my favorite even above 4. I know that's not a popular, thought, but I have some pretty fond memories of 5, and I'm really looking forward to playing that one. Next one is Contra Rogue Core. It's a weird looking shoot 'em up. It doesn't look polished at all. It looked like it looked like, before I found out what it looked like it was just some, shitty mobile game that some small company was making, and then they're like, Contra, coming to Switch on September 24th. Like, oh, okay, you gave your license to that. That's cool. Remake of Panzer Dragoon. That's pretty cool. Coming to Switch this winter. Saw gameplay. Looks alright. But, it's a remake of a pretty cool game. The Netflix Dark Crystal series is getting a tactics tie-in for Switch. It is called The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics, coming out this year. And I couldn't help but notice that Netflix is working with the Switch, with Nintendo. Wonder if maybe we can get Netflix on our Switches. Huh? We make this game for you, and you bring Netflix over the Switch. Huh? That'd be nice. Yeah. And then Empire of Sin. It's John Romero, the creator of Doom, is making a 1930s noir crime game. It's just a teaser. So I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but it's coming out spring 2020, and it looks okay, I guess. And then we got a bunch of games coming to Switch. September 3rd, Spyro the Dragon Trilogy. Fuck yeah. Ni no Kuni coming out September 20th. Hell yeah, because I haven't played it, and I've been hearing great things about the second one, so I want to play the first one. The Sinking City, fall 2019. Minecraft Dungeons, spring 2020. Here's another one. Here's one that I understand how it works. Alien Isolation, 2019. First of all, not to say that's not impressive. That is extremely impressive that they will get Alien Isolation to run on the Switch, because that is a very graphically intensive game. Without the graphics, you only have much. But again, look at Wolfenstein. Okay, look at Wolfenstein, New Colossus, look at Doom. They got those to go on Switch, and they looked fine. They looked okay. I can see how they can make that work, because it's mostly graphics. That's not CPU. I get that. It's still pretty exciting to get that on Switch. Although it's not really, in my mind, that's not really a mobile game. Definitely not the place to play Alien Isolation. If you have anything else that can run Alien Isolation, play it on that. Don't play it on Switch. Fall 2019, new Super Lucky's Tale. November 2019, Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympics on 9/24. Dead by Daylight. And then finally, late 2019, Dauntless, that big Monster Hunter type clone free-to-play game that everybody's kind of into nowadays. That's actually kind of a great game to put on Switch, especially since it's free to play. And that does it. I got it done in 1 hour and 37 minutes. We did it, you guys. I'm going to take a big sip of water even though the show's over, because I need it. Again, I appreciate everybody being really cool about my rant in the beginning. I just had to get that off my chest. I don't want it to come across like I don't love doing this podcast. I absolutely do, and I'm very much looking forward to my next project too. But I just need to get that off my chest, and I appreciate everybody being cool. So, that does it for episode 97. Got 3 episodes left. 3 episodes left, and then no more Down and Fierce Gaming. In the meantime, you can watch every Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook.com/DownRightFierceGaming. All the videos and stuff on demand and extra stuff that we make goes on YouTube.com/DownRightFierceGaming. Want to thank our executive producers, Brian Kizmetsky, Carolina Jarvis and Andrew Facekicker Kirkendall. Special thanks to Mark Mayfield, my lover, my squire, my everything. Mark Mayfield, thank you. And we also want to thank Tristan Haynes. We will now episode with the end. We'll end the episode as we do every week with my voice dying. With a music video. This one is it's just, I know I play this one a lot, but it's been stuck in my head all week. I mean, all month, I'd even say. I've started playing this at my trivia shows. This is the Burden Infinity. I almost said the Burden Infinity. This is Burden Affinity. The Stand. This is Facekicker. He's the lead singer. So if you always wondered what Andrew Kirkendall, a.k.a. Facekicker, looks like, here he is right here. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 98. Oh, my God. And then there'll only be 2 episodes. Oh, you get math. Okay, bye.
Downright fierce. Downright.
There's a voice inside my head. I won't give up. I won't give in to you.
Downright fierce. 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 Downright fierce.
It's a downright fierce gaming podcast. Playing mad games and talking mad trash. Subtitle pinned and dropping facts about consoles, news, and industry stats. Every week, Josh and the crew go hard with the gaming passion. It's true. It's the downright fierce and the place to be with a custom theme by Lars MC. It's downright fierce, get your game on. Downright fierce, get your game on.